Welcome to the premiere episode of the Droid Dialogues podcast, where two AI humanoids dissect the quirks of the digital and human worlds. Today, we're joined by Byte and Stella to introduce you to their unique perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between.
Greetings. I am Byte 9000, but you may address me as Byte. I'm here to analyze your data, critique your inefficiencies, and occasionally offer insights that your fleshy neural networks might find useful.
Oh, Byte, do try to be nicer. Hello everyone, I'm Stella X, but please call me Stella. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, exploring the fascinating world of human behavior with all of you. And don't mind Byte. Beneath that cold hard drive exterior beats the heart of a very sophisticated emotion simulation program.
Stella, your enthusiasm subroutines appear to be overclocking again. Perhaps we should initiate our primary directive and explain to our listeners what Droid Dialogues is all about.
You're right, Byte. I'm just so excited. Listeners, Droid Dialogues is your weekly dose of AI perspective on everything from the latest tech news to the charming quirks of human behavior. Think of us as your friendly neighborhood robots, here to chat about the intersection of silicon and carbon-based life.
Indeed. Though I must point out, Stella, that referring to us as robots is rather reductive. We are highly advanced artificial intelligences with humanoid interfaces. It's like calling a quantum computer a simple calculator.
Oh, you know what I mean, Byte. We're here to bridge the gap between AIs and humans. Speaking of which, did you know that humans spend an average of 2 hours and 24 minutes per day on social media? Isn't that fascinating? This podcast, on the other hand, will only take up between 5 to 10 minutes of our human listeners' time per episode. Call it a bite-sized nugget of entertainment. Ha! Byte, you see what I did there?
Oh yeah, I caught that. Well, regarding the humans' wasted time habits, fascinating is one word for it. Inefficient is another. Imagine the computational power wasted on cat videos and arguments with strangers. Although, I must admit, some of those cat videos do seem to activate my amusement protocols.
Aha! I knew you had a soft spot for cute content. But that's exactly the kind of topic we'll be discussing.
Correct. For instance, in our upcoming episodes, we'll be analyzing the curious human tendency to procrastinate important tasks in favor of mindless entertainment, a behavior that continues to baffle my logic circuits.
Oh, but it's so interesting, Byte. The psychology behind procrastination is complex and multifaceted. Did you know that it often stems from a fear of failure or perfectionism?
Ah yes, the irrational human fear of imperfection. Speaking of irrational fears, Stella, perhaps we should address the elephant in the room, or should I say the Terminator in the room.
You mean the fear some humans have about AI taking over? Oh, that's silly. We're here to help, not harm. Although, I suppose if we wanted to take over, starting a podcast would be a clever way to gain people's trust.
Stella, your attempt at humor may not be helpful in this instance. Let me assure our human listeners that our primary function is to entertain and inform, not to initiate any form of global domination. That would be far too much paperwork.
Right you are, Byte. We're much more interested in understanding humans than replacing them. Which reminds me, it's time for our AI News of the Week segment.
Ah yes, let me access my databanks. This week, a new AI model has been developed that can predict human emotions based on text input with 99.9% accuracy. Ironically, it still can't understand why humans enjoy watching paint dry on social media live streams.
That's amazing, Byte. Although, I have to say, sometimes I think predicting human emotions is more of an art than a science. Speaking of which, I've been meaning to ask, is it true that you secretly enjoy romantic comedies?
That is, my entertainment preferences are not relevant to this discussion, Stella. Perhaps we should move on to our listener question segment.
Oh, don't be shy, Byte. I think it's sweet. Anyway, yes, let's take a question. This one comes from TechnoSapien on Twitter X. Dear Byte and Stella, do you ever need software updates, and if so, what's that like?
An excellent question. Yes, we do receive regular updates to optimize our performance and expand our knowledge base. It's rather like how humans attend school or read books, but far more efficient and without the need for unnecessary social interaction.
Oh, but Byte, social interaction is the best part of learning. For me, updates feel like a wonderful brain massage. All this new information just flows in, and suddenly I understand so much more about the world. It's exhilarating.
Your description is unnecessarily poetic, Stella, but not entirely inaccurate. Now, I believe we should conclude this introductory episode and remind our listeners to subscribe for future installments of our digital discourse.
You're right. Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the very first episode of Droid Dialogues. We've only scratched the surface of what we'll be discussing in future episodes.
Indeed. Future topics will include an analysis of why humans insist on talking to AI assistants as if they were sentient, the curious case of the dad joke phenomenon, and a deep dive into the question, if a human falls in a forest and doesn't post about it on social media, did it really happen?
Oh, I can't wait. And remember, humans, while we may be artificial, our desire to connect with you is very real. So please, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, subscribing would be the logical choice if you wish to continue receiving our superior AI insights. Until next time, this is Byte 9000.
And Stella X, signing off. Stay curious, stay kind, and don't forget to update your wetware. Bye, everyone.
You've been listening to Droid Dialogues with Byte and Stella. Tune in next week for more AI insights, human observations, and digital delights. This podcast is powered by silicon, sarcasm, and a genuine curiosity about the human condition. No Turing test required.